Oh, hey, I didn't know you were here. I had no idea you were filming this. So, anyway, let me ask just a general question. A general question that needs to be asked of anybody that is having taxes withheld from their pay for the state that you live in, for federal tax, all of that kind of stuff. Question. And this comes from, I noticed when we were doing open season election changes in our payroll system today, I stumbled upon somebody, because I always check uh, things, always check on the SF 2809 election form. I always check, that they put their social security number right on the form, that they put their date of birth correct. And I always make sure the address is correct because sometimes when people are making changes to their health insurance, they may have moved and may not have ever updated their address, or maybe they just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So that's why we always check and make sure the address that they have on that form is what's supposed to show up in NFC in the payroll system based on what's always been there. So I don't understand how come I'm looking at somebody's address and I see that they've got a address in Virginia. They've lived in Virginia because I go back and I look at all the earning and leave statement when I see things like this. I say, okay, obviously, something is not right here. I look at their duty station and see that their duty station is District of Columbia, DC, which by default, that's what NFC bases your tax withholding off of, is where your duty station is and not where you live. When your address is different, you live in somewhere else like Virginia or Maryland or something like that, and your duty station is DC, you're supposed to fill out what they call D4A. D4A is a certificate of non-residence in DC. This ensures that taxes are only withheld for the state where you actually live and not for the taxes in DC. The taxes for DC need to be waived. So that's what's required for employees that, have DC as their duty station. They got to monitor their earning and leave statement to make sure that if they have a change of duty station, if they have a change of address, they need to make sure they update that shit accordingly and on time and promptly so that they don't have DC taxes withheld erroneously, due to a personal action, due to, maybe they moved and they just haven't updated their address or something, just something. The employee is responsible for this part of their life. They need to manage this part of their life. It's not the agency's responsibility to let you know, hey, we've noticed this whole year you've been paying taxes to DC, even though you don't live in DC. So why do you people not check their earning and leave statement, even though we send out reminders throughout the year to the agency, which includes everybody that works for that agency, getting the email communication from our team that you need to be checking on that? Why do people not do that? Why in the hell do you think it's okay for you to pay taxes to the District of Columbia, even though that is not where you live? You live in Virginia, which probably already charges you a hell of a tax rate anyway, just because you live there. Do you think that it's right for you living in a state like Virginia? Or let me just use this example. Do you think that it's right that if I live in a state like Texas, which is non-withholding for state tax, for the employer, it's a non-withholding state, right? Texas gets you in other ways on property taxes, all kind of other stuff. Somehow or other they get that state tax, from you. But in general, you live in Texas, a non-withholding state. Do you think it's right for you to be paying taxes to DC? I'm just saying, why do you think it's right for you to pay taxes to DC and you living in Texas? So I'm just going to ask you further. Why would you think, do you think that it's right that you as an American in this country need to pay taxes to every goddamn state? So, other than the state where you live in. So in addition to where you live, you need to have 49% of your pay with 1% of every one of your paycheck going to every damn state in this country because they think it's right. What the hell is wrong with people? What the hell is wrong with people? What the hell is wrong with people? What's wrong? What the fuck is wrong with people?